Hey guys, my name's Kyla, and I'm your host of That Christian Girl podcast, a podcast that's devoted to helping Christians of all walks of life be inspired and encouraged to reach their full godly potential. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, what's up? It's Kyla with That Christian Girl podcast, and today I know I say this every single time, but every single time I'm excited. So, I'm super excited for today's episode, and we are going to do our fourth and final part of Holy Girl Summer. So, Holy Girl Summer Part 2, and Part 4, my goodness gracious, it's Part 4. And this one's gonna be all about consistency, staying motivated, and just some other little thoughts that I had on just what to add to the very end of this little series that we're doing. And I just want to say, this has been a journey for me, these first 4 episodes plus the intro episode. And it's just been so great. Definitely a learning experience, and it's just, I don't know, it's just been it's been a good experience for me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed every episode that I've put out so far. And I hope that you guys really enjoy these episodes as well, because I'm enjoying them, and I enjoy them when I listen to them back on 2x speed when I'm getting ready or at work or whatever. So yeah, let's first go through the past 3 episodes and what we talked about, so we can really talk about today's episode and how we're going to first stay consistent, second stay motivated, and then also adding in the extra things as well. So part 1 was all about our godly habits. So that's praying, being in the Word, and being with a Christian community. So this means reading your Bible and finding good ways to really have focused prayers, and then also getting into a good Christian community. And yeah, that one is one of my favorite episodes so far. I really enjoyed recording that, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed listening to that one. Let's see. So I talked about that in the first part, and then I also encouraged all of you to take part in what I called the 28-day challenge, where I, and hopefully some of you, have made the commitment to read your Bible every single day. It doesn't have to be every morning, but every day for 28 days straight. And that has been such a blessing for me, and that has helped me stay consistent, actually, in my Bible reading, because right now I'm at 10 days, and it's crazy. I think if I didn't have that 28-day challenge keeping me going and keeping me consistent and accountable, then I probably wouldn't have read my Bible 2 of those days. So I'm really glad that I'm taking part in that, and I hope you guys too were encouraged to take part in that challenge. And if you haven't listened to that podcast episode, make sure to go listen to it after you're done listening to this one. The next part of Holy Girl Summer was part 2, and that talked all about goal setting. So the types of goals that we should set, and first we talked about how to set goals, and we used the SMART method, which where we learned how to make good goals that we could follow through with and would keep us motivated. And then we talked about some godly goals that we should look into, and hopefully you guys set your own godly goals. And then we also looked at our lifestyle goals. So goals that had to pertain with our lifestyle that weren't necessarily godly. So that were God-pleasing, but not with the focus of being in your Bible or praying. So that could be your cleanliness in your room and stuff, your health. So either that could be working out or eating well, and then just any other lifestyle goal that you wanted to have. And then finally, our third part was Holy Girl Summer Part 3, and that part we talked about our lifestyle changes. So that one really zoomed in onto like the lifestyle goal part of the goal making episode, and we talked about some good things that you can do to stay healthy and motivated throughout the summer. So first I talked about working out, and then I talked about short-term changes, so things that you could do now to really glow up for summer. So I talked about like getting your hair done, doing your nails, etc. And then I talked about long-term changes, which had habits like working out, eating healthy, and overall cleanliness, or like getting a skincare routine and stuff. So that one was more like lifestyle focused. And then our final one is part 4. So I'm going to start with a discussion on consistency. So, how do we stay consistent throughout the summer? I know it's really easy, especially for me. I get so motivated, and I do it for the first 2 weeks, and then I fizzle out. That is something that I struggle with. Like, I'll hear something super motivating, or I'll watch YouTube video that's super motivating, or I'll even see like a reel on Instagram, because mind you, I don't have TikTok. So I'll see a reel on Instagram and I'll get so motivated to do things, or I'll see something on Pinterest and I will be so motivated. But I don't stay consistent in that thing. I do it for a week, maybe 2, and then I just drop it. Drop it like a hot potato, you know? I let the potato sit in my hands, and then I was like, "Oh goodness, this got too hot," and then I dropped it. That was a really bad analogy. But that's what usually happens with me. Or I'll get so motivated to do something and I'll do it for like 3 or 4 days in a row, and I won't be able to complete it because I don't even know why. I will just lose all motivation. So here's some ideas on how we can stay consistent throughout the whole summer. The first is goal setting. I know I had a whole episode about this, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't listened to it already. But setting some good goals and then either hanging them up on your wall or making it your phone background, so then you see those goals every single day, will really help you stay consistent because you see what your end goal is. And the next is consistency partners. I was talking to a older woman from my church and at my youth group last night, because I'm recording this, that's the word, on Thursday. So Wednesday night I had this amazing discussion with one of the female youth leaders in my youth group, and we were talking, and this podcast came up, and I was just talking about how work and stuff, because I've started 2 jobs now. And she asked how my Bible time is going, because that was actually what the message was about how to get into your Bible and do a Bible study. And she asked how Bible reading was going with the 2 jobs. And I was like, good. And then I started talking about this podcast. And I talked about the 28-day challenge and how that has really helped me stay consistent. And then she was telling me a story about how her sister-in-law and her had decided to become accountability partners or consistency partners on their like physical health. So I guess she made a steps goal every day, and then I'm not sure what her sister-in-law made, but we were just talking about how motivating it is to have another person who will ask you at the end of the day, "Hey, did you get your steps goal in?" And who will still stay positive when you don't, not be like a scary football coach when you do something wrong. No, they'll be encouraging when you don't make it or when you don't do it and be like, "You can do it." Like, yes, tomorrow, you have tomorrow to do it. You can do it tomorrow. Even if you didn't do it today, tomorrow you can still do it. But she was talking about how motivating it was, and I just agreed with her, because what I've found with the 28-day challenge is that every single morning I wake up and I usually want to read my Bible, but then some mornings, was it Monday? Yeah. No, it was Tuesday. Tuesday, I slept in until 7:30, and I have to leave at work to work at 7:40. So as you can see, I had 10 minutes to get ready, so I rushed out the door. And I didn't read my Bible that morning, and I don't think I probably would have went home and grabbed my Bible to do a tiny little Bible study before my workout that day. I probably wouldn't have read the Bible period that day if it wasn't for the motivation that I needed. I was like, you know what? Every day I made a commitment to myself to post a picture of my Bible to my story, and that commitment has kept me going and kept me motivated, because even if you're not following my Instagram or anything, at least I'm doing it for myself, and I know that if I miss a day, other people will know, or maybe they won't notice, but I will know, and I will feel guilty about not doing it, So, trying to find something that will keep you consistent, like a consistency partner. And then, the last thing that you could do is prayer. And prayer for consistency. Prayer for motivation. Prayer is, you can't do it by yourself. So giving God the reins and saying, hey, Lord, please help me stay consistent in this, because I know it's important to you and I want it to be important to me, like Bible reading, praying before you go to bed at night. Lord, please help me wake up tomorrow morning and get into your word. Please bless my time in your word tomorrow, and please help me be consistent and get into your word tomorrow. Just praying for that consistency and for that to become a habit. And then here's some more tips. Besides setting goals, having a consistency partner, and being in prayer, you could fill your Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest feed with influencers who will motivate you. That's a huge one. To have influencers to motivate you to stay consistent and really help inspire you to stay consistent, and filling your feed with that is amazing. So I know I talk about her so much, but Ashley Hetherington is one of the ladies that I follow that I love. And then if you stalk who I'm following on my that Christian Girl podcast, you'll see a lot of people who help me really stay consistent. There's also some just great influencers out there. So there's Ashley Hetherington, who I talk about a lot. Hey It's Sia is pretty Sia is pretty cute. There's also, what's her name? Christina M. Simmons. She's really cute. I love her. She's just so positive. And then there's also a lot of people. Oh, Alexis Joy Joseph. She's amazing. And there's so many on here that just really fill my feed with encouragement, and just that's why I love my Christian Girl podcast, that feed, a lot more, because it's all Christianity. It's insane. Another person that I follow is A Girl with Jesus, who is a teen Christian influencer, and she's really amazing and really, really inspiring as well. There's just so many inspiring things that you can find on Instagram, and it's insane. And then also TikTok and Pinterest too. If you were to look at my Pinterest, and Pinterest all depends on what you're saving and what you're putting into your Pinterest boards. So you're gonna get what you put into your Pinterest boards. So if you scroll through, you'll see a lot of cute things, but you'll probably, if you scroll through my Pinterest page, you'll see here's a picture of a Bible, and it's Bible journaling. And then there's so many different pictures that really put me in the mood to do cool things. So even if social media is given a bad rep, there's some good things on it that can really help you stay motivated and inspired. Just looking at Pinterest inspires me, because, it's also aesthetic and it all looks so pretty, and you're like, I want that! So then you feel inspired to go do it. So maybe filling your feeds with things that will inspire you. Next, I don't know what my microphone is doing. Anyways, next, my thing is on the days that you don't want to do anything, the most important thing to do is to push yourself to do it. Last night, I was super duper tired and I didn't want to wash my face. And even if something is a habit, sometimes you don't do it. So, washing my face, I told myself, I was like, Kyla, you need to take your makeup off. If you don't want to wake up in the morning looking like a raccoon, you need to take your makeup off. So I turned on the water, I let it heat up, and then I took my makeup off, and the rest was so easy. Sometimes the first part, starting, is the hardest part. So turning that water on and getting all of my stuff out, that was the hardest part. And once I started wiping like the mascara off my eyes, it just became super easy and I was able to do it because it's just a habit. But forcing yourself to start is the most important thing. My pastor always says your Bible reading shouldn't be something that you just do to check off the box. But sometimes I feel like that's something that you have to do, is to force yourself to do the things that can sometimes be hard. To force yourself through the uncomfortable feeling, to force yourself, hey, maybe I'm just doing this, not doing it with like the mindset to get it done, but doing it because you know it has to be done, no matter how much you don't want to do it, is really what's going to push you through and power you through, and overcoming that, like, I don't want to do it, is going to make you stronger for other instances when, like, you can't do it. And it will, I'm not sure if this makes sense, but making sure to push through even when it gets hard will make it so much easier moving on. Like, last year, if I had really pushed through and really tried to stay consistent in my Bible reading, because there was a few good, probably 4 or 5 months where I didn't read my Bible because I did not push through, and I dropped that habit like a hot potato. Yeah, because I did not push myself through when life got hard and I didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't push myself through to do stuff. And looking back, I should have. You know how much more my Bible would be filled out if I had pushed myself through and pushed myself to do Bible reading every single morning, no matter how terrible I felt, either the night before or the morning of. I would have had so much more Bible reading time. So making sure to push yourself through the times that things are hard. And then also, the thing is that you need to take time to rest or relax. For consistency to be healthy, you need to take that time to relax. If this is probably not aimed at Bible reading, because we should not be taking like weeks off of our Bible reading to rest or relax. Bible reading is definitely something that we should be doing, and definitely something that should be refreshing and refresh us. But other things, like working out or just working in general, we need to take times to rest and relax. And next week, I think Tuesday, I'm going to do a whole podcast episode on this because I really need to listen to this myself. Like, just definitely the resting part. But here's a few things that you can do this weekend while you're waiting for that next episode to come out to really reset and rest. So maybe go on a walk or a drive. It's so hard to stay consistent and do things when all you're doing is pushing through and not taking time to rest. So not taking time to rest by scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, or scrolling through Pinterest, or whatever platform you use. Go outside, go on a walk, maybe even go on a drive. Drives are so fun. Oh my goodness. I love going on drives. But going on walks too, I always feel so refreshed after a walk and so much more rejuvenated to do fun things. Read a book. I saw this thing on Instagram, and it was like, what did you do when you were a little kid and you needed time to relax, or when you were bored? No, it was when you were bored. And she was like, I colored, so now I color with my kid. And I was like, that's such a good idea. I need to color more. And then also, it's like when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's really good to do a creative outlet instead of being on screens. And then my last thing for like the consistency thing, this is kind of sort of consistency, but make sure you take a break away from screens and do something creative that you love. And this will really help with your motivation and your willingness to do those hard things, is to take a break away from screens. Don't doom scroll. Doom scrolling is really easy to do, but do something creative that you love. If your mind needs a break, go color. If your mind needs a break, I need to start crocheting. So maybe I'll go crochet the next time my mind needs a break instead of scrolling on Instagram. Because you guys, I fall into that trap a lot. A lot, a lot. So trying to remind myself to do something creative instead of do something that I don't want to do. The second thing is, how do we stay motivated? This really goes into consistency, but motivation is such a driving factor of staying consistent. So how do we stay motivated? So I already talked about filling up your feeds with Christian influencers or influencers that help you achieve that goal. But sometimes it's really hard to do stuff in summer. And the thing that I have to remember is to force myself to get ready. I feel so much more motivated to do things when I'm ready for the day. Like Thursdays are my only days, like weekday off from either of my jobs. Although now I'm babysitting, so it's not really a day off. But I love babysitting. Babysitting's great. So I still think of it as my day off. But this morning, lazy person. I'm kind of a lazy person. And then I made the decision, hey, I need to get up, I need to get dressed, and I need to do my makeup. Put it at that. I need to go out and do something, because I feel so much more motivated and so much more accomplished when I go do something instead of just be a couch potato, you know? So getting up and forcing yourself to get ready in the morning helps so much with your motivation. Next, something that you could do to help motivate you is listening or watching something that is motivating. Like, you could look up on YouTube, Clean My Room with Me. There's so many videos that I feel like are really motivating. Or listen to a podcast. Listen to my podcast. Listen to another podcast. Listen to a podcast that motivates you. Because listening and watching things, the things that we intake, really help motivate us, especially motivating things that we intake. So intaking those motivating things will really help us get motivated. My third thing is to fall in love with life again. This is kind of stepping away from the consistency and motivation thing. So maybe we should have a little bit of a transition besides, let's just talk about how to love life. So after, hopefully you brought a few things away from staying consistent and staying motivated. But here's just the next part is going to be some general things that I just want to talk about, to just add to the very final part of Holy Girl Summer. So just a little bit of additives to really help us have a Holy Girl Summer. And the first thing, as you already know, is to fall in love with life again. So I struggle. I have so many struggles, and life is hard, you guys. Life is so, so hard. And sometimes it's really hard when you're spending a lot of time working, or just feeling like summer is not long enough and you're not going to do anything fun, or you're worried about things, or your friends are all going and doing things and you don't hang out with your friends and stuff. It's so hard to really love life For me, I love summer. Summer is amazing. Summer is my favorite. But sometimes it's not my favorite, because I don't see my friends every day. I usually spend a lot of time alone during summer, and the time that I do spend with my friends is so sweet and so amazing. But from going to from an environment that you're with your friends every single day, you get to go have lunch with them, you get to hang out with them, to an environment where you're working or you're doing other things and your friends are off living their life. It's so hard sometimes to really love life and be joyful during summer if a lot of that is spent without your friends. So, how do I become joyful and love life during summer? Well, my main thing is to allow yourself to be silly. Do that fun little dance in your room. Or today I was listening, what song was I listening to? I don't know, but I was going and grabbing the mail and having a mini dance party with myself because why not? Dancing is so fun. So having mini dancing parties with yourself. Roll when you're driving if you can drive, or when you're with your friends and they're driving, roll down the windows. Have a car concert. I cannot express how much I love the mini car concerts that I have driving home from work. Like, the windows are always down and we're always living it up, looking, because I love where I live. It's so pretty. Just like looking at the beauty around me and just enjoying life is so fun, and learning, like, even if I'm lonely, I'm not alone, and I can find joy in, like, the quote unquote alone, like, loneliness. Trying to find joy with being with yourself. That's something that's so important for summer, is just trying to find joy in being alone and being alone with God. So having car concerts, that's my favorite thing. Or just laughing, allowing yourself to be silly, allowing yourself to do little dancey dances at the stoplight. And no matter if you think the person in front of you might be staring at you in their rearview mirror, singing your heart out, dancing in your seat, waiting for the light to turn green, do it. Allow yourself to be silly. Allow yourself to really have fun, because that's one of the biggest blessings there is to be able to be fun and have fun. Next, hang out with those who make you laugh. The good thing about summer, and even if you're in high school, the good thing about summer, even if you're not in high school, sorry, but especially if you're in high school, you spend a lot of time with people that you don't like every single day. There's always that annoying kid in your class that kind of gets on your nerve, or those mean girls that, those judgy mean girls that you don't want to be around. Well, summer, you don't have to worry about those girls. All you should do is hanging out with the friends that make you laugh and make you love life. So, hanging out with those friends that really are good friends and saying, bye losers, or, well, maybe not bye losers, but saying bye-bye to all of the people who are bad influences and bad mojo, I don't know, just bad people to be around. Saying bye to them is amazing. I do not miss so many people in my classes that I had to deal with this year. I don't miss them. Yes, there are people that I do miss, don't get me wrong, but there's many people that I don't miss, and that I'm like, woo, I don't have to deal with you for 3 months. Or I don't have to worry about what you're gonna say or what you're gonna do. I don't, because I just get to really spend time with the people that I like. So making sure you spend time with the people that you like this summer. And summer is just such a good time to really spend time with those that you enjoy and that you love hanging out with, instead of those that you don't enjoy and that you don't enjoy hanging out with or don't enjoy seeing. So making sure that you're really having those laughs with friends who will make you laugh. Today I hung out with my friends who She's pretty busy this summer, but it was so amazing hanging out with her. We got ice cream and there were so many laughs, and it was just such a good time because I hadn't had that. So having that amazing time with her was really just a good breath of fresh air and just really made my day, having hanging out with that friend that made me laugh. We went and got ice cream and then we went to the bookstore. I got some good books, you guys. I'm so excited to read them. Side tangent. But hanging out with those friends that make you laugh and that you really enjoy hanging out with and give you the joy that you want. Next, fill your summer with fun. It's me especially. I'm the person who this is directed at. I fill my summer with work. I love work. If you've met me, I love working. But the thing is that sometimes I work to stay busy because I love staying busy, but there's not a lot of fun. Yes, I'm really enjoying my job right now, but there's not fun stuff that I am doing for myself. And I really like what my mom suggested because I'm working so much. I did the math last night. I'm working 42 to 52 hours a week between both of my jobs. I know, it's a lot, you guys. Well, 40 to 51, 50 and a half between both of my jobs. It's a lot. It's a lot. My mom, she said that Thursdays on your day off, you should go do something fun with your friends. Do something that you love and that will be fun. So, you know what I'm going to try and start doing? Country dances. I went to this swing dance that was put on by my school. Actually, best spontaneous idea that I've ever had. I came, paid $20 for 1 hour. 1 hour. But it was so fun. All of the line dances and then just spending time with my friends and laughing and having such a good time. I want to do that this summer. I want to go to country dances. I love country dances, you guys. But I want to go have fun and just live up this summer. And then also, as I was talking about, friends, and then also doing things that you really enjoy doing. So, taking myself on shopping sprees, going thrifting, just doing fun things that I enjoy, especially on my days off, that will get me amazing. Amazing? Wow. Those were some great words coming out of my mouth. But, like hiking, having fun and going outside, just spending time out of the house doing something fun is something that I'm trying to work on this summer. And then now, fun little part of Holy Girl Summer. Point number 4, extra additives with a little heart. So, here's some things that you can do to really help you have a Holy Girl Summer that I didn't talk about in my episodes, or that I did and I want to expand on, or that I did and I kind of just forgot about that I talked about, but I'm just gonna go down this little list. So the first thing is to make an encouragement mirror. You guys, I need to do this because currently my mirror has 3 sticky notes on it, and it was the time that I was going through something really tough, and they're verses that are amazing comfort verses. But now I need some verses that are just for joyful and for summer. So I'm going to be redoing my encouragement mirror, and I will take you guys with me on that journey on Instagram. I know Tuesday I talked about how I was going to take you guys on a grocery shopping spree with me. I haven't done that because my family is going to be leaving town for a whole week, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't go buy fresh produce just to have it sit in the fridge in a vacant house for 2 weeks and have nobody eat it. So doing that after we get back, and I'll do the encouragement mirror after we get back as well. But make an encouragement mirror with verses or just little messages to encourage you when you get up and when you look at that, and make sure you look at it every morning and you'll just feel so encouraged. My second thing is to start a habit tracker. So I need to do my bullet journal. I did not do it this week, but I have a bullet journal where I write down things, and most of the ideas are from Pinterest. Thank you, Pinterest. But I have, at the start of each month, I don't know, 4 habits that I want to keep up with, and I make a little habit tracker where every day that I do that, I fill in the little habit tracker. And you don't have to do that. You could put something on your wall with a habit tracker. But making habit trackers, I know that, your Bible reading shouldn't be a check off the box thing, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Sometimes it's good to have that box to check off, to be like, hey, I have to do this today. I don't just get to skip it. So having that habit tracker really keeps you motivated. And then also is to write down your routines, so your ideal routines, so morning and night, and then hang it up somewhere where you can see it. I need to do this. I need to write in big bold letters, make your bed, because I know in last episode I talked about how I'm trying to make my bed. I didn't. I haven't been. I need to. So trying to make a good routine where I'm like, yep, did that, yep, did that, yep, did that, because I really like lists. I enjoy lists so much. So making a list of things that I need to get done in the morning before I leave would be really good for me, and maybe really good for you. And then also a night routine is really good, because sometimes you want to have a good night routine that will help you really focus your nighttime and really wind you down. And I will be talking about routines in a few weeks. It'll be a 2-part series. I already have it planned out. Well, not the episodes itself, but I already have the 2 episodes planned out. So Tuesday will be morning and Friday will be night. But that is going to be in a few weeks after life settles down a little bit and I'm able to really pour into that episode a little bit more. Yep, so I will talk about that in a few weeks. Next, I think I talked about this, but filling your mind with Christian-based things. I'm not sure if I said Christian. No, I definitely did. I definitely talked about Christian-based books. But I wrote this down here anyway. Read Christian-based books. Today, now I get to talk about my book haul. Okay, so I did not know they made a War Room book. I'm so excited, you guys. Oh my goodness. So I know I talked about War Room in my first episode about how that encouraged me to start a prayer journal. Well, I found a book based on the movie. It says a novelization by Chris Farley based on the motion picture by Alex Kendrick and Stephen Kendrick. So I'm like, ooh, now I gotta read this. I gotta read this book now and feel encouraged to get into prayer more. That's something that I really want to work on. But this is like a good Christian fictional book, and I hope it's good. But the movie was really good, so I'm super excited to read the book. Next, you guys, I'm so excited about this. I found, it wasn't a whole series, but there were 3 books, and I got all of them. But by this author named Angela Hunt, and the one that I'm holding right now is one about Esther. Whoa, I cannot say that. Esther. And if you've been following my Instagram, you know that I have been reading Esther, and I'm so excited to read this novel after I read the book in the Bible, because fun fact, I've never read Esther before, and I wanted to read it because I was interested. I was intrigued. I was like, I want to read this book of the Bible. And then it was so funny because then was it Sunday that I started it? I think it was Sunday that I started it. I'd went to church and I didn't read my Bible before because I kind of got ready in a rush. Fun fact, I do that a lot. But, so my pastor actually talked about a lot of stories, but he was talking about how, Psalm 2. He read Psalm 2, which was so funny because I read that earlier that week. But it was about how the Lord laughs at the evil's plans because people will plot evil against him and then the Lord just laughs. And he had pointed out Esther. And I was like, wow, that's crazy because I was going to start Esther today. So I did, and it was amazing. And I'm really really enjoying it so far, but I'm so excited to read this book that's like a long novel just about like expanding on that book of the Bible. And then there's also two more, which is Bathsheba and Delilah, which, probably I think Delilah wasn't she was the one that like cut the hair. Wow, you guys, I really need to catch up on my Bible, like my children's Bible stories here. But some of them aren't like inspiring like the Esther, but that one will be really cool. And then the other two, and then I got just this, what I call a Christian romance novel. It's not a historical fiction, but it's still Christian. And I can't remember what it's called, and its spine is not looking back to me, so I don't know what it's called. But I kind of like romance novels, you guys. Interesting. But having those Christian romance novels is really good because it's Christian based. Have I talked about my favorite author yet? You guys, give me a second to go grab literally my favorite author, who is historical fiction Christian romance novel. And I think those are what really got me into the romance genre and what really got me into the Christian romance drama. Okay, guys, the author's name is Melanie Dickerson. Oh my goodness, I love her. The first book that I ever read was The Healer's Apprentice, which I guess was the first book in like the series. But you guys, it's so good. Oh my goodness. I cannot express how much I love this book. Literally amazing. 100% recommend you read it if you're into that kind of genre. And it's Christian based, so just great to be filling your mind with that. Next thing is, I know I've definitely talked about this before, but make a fun Christian based playlist. There are so many good ideas on Instagram or probably TikTok. Probably came from TikTok, but there's some that, are like Christian workout mix and Christian like a bunch of different Christian ideas for workouts and stuff. Whoa. But here are some people that I kind of like that are Christian. There's Isla Vista Worship. Those, I found them on Instagram like, I don't know, this week, and they actually are so good. I was not expecting to like them that much. I was jamming out at work. I was like, woo, I love this. Next one that I found from like this Christian playlist that I was listening to is Social Club Misfits, and those people are really good too. And then finally is Forrest Frank. If you guys have heard, what's the song? Super good song. But what is it called? Here, I'm gonna find it for you guys, because it was also kind of like a Instagram/TikTok viral song, and a bunch of people like it. So I put it in my like songs. Hopefully it's not too far down here. Where is it? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, No Longer Bound. It's like, even in the shadow of the valley of death. Cause the living God is living in my chest. Like, so good. Sir, pop off. That sounded so wrong. Sorry. Just have to laugh at myself sometimes. But, and then there's also this one that he was like, Christian breakup song that I've seen, and it's called Pray For Me, and it's amazing, you guys. And I just felt it with like my Christian best friend breakup. It wasn't a guy breakup, but it was like a best friend breakup. And I was like, I feel this, sir. I feel this so hard. Like, it was insane. So I really love him. And then my last thing is, if you don't really enjoy like 2011 K-Love music, or like the music that you think of Christian music and that's the kind of music that you think of. If you don't exactly enjoy that all that much, because girly, I understand ya. There's sometimes I'm just not in the mood for that, and sometimes I want something different, and I feel like that's why a lot of people go, even me, go to secular music, is because we're looking for a different sound than just worship music. And not saying that worship music is bad, because worship music is amazing, but sometimes we're not always in the mood to be listening to the kind of songs that we'd sing on Sundays. We want something different. Girly, I got you. I love 2 different playlists on my Spotify, and it all came with me looking up Christian music that doesn't sound like Christian music. There is literally a playlist that is called Christian music that doesn't sound like Christian music on my Spotify that is downloaded. And let me find the other ones. There's indie Christian pop, which is amazing. Definitely recommend that playlist. There's so many Christian playlists out there that's like alternative Christian, that's not worship music or not music that you'd listen to on a Sunday. It's cool like indie music or alternative, or I think there's even Christian rock music, there's Christian pop music, you can always listen to instrumental. There's so many different kinds. Christian rap music, you guys. Oh my goodness. Christian rap music actually it's really funny cuz you're like, it's so wacky. Like, what? But then it's so good at the same time for some reason. I remember I was introduced to Christian rap music when I was at my old job last summer, and we would always like turn up the music and blast the speakers while we were closing, and it was so funny because my old boss, he was the one who introduced me to it. And actually, there's some really good songs. Maybe I'll have to make Spotify playlists for you guys. That would be so fun. But I already have one, and it's actually called Closing Shift, in lieu of, I don't know, fun closing shift times. But there's church clap, you guys. If you've never done that line dance, literally my favorite line dance out there. And it's so funny. But there's so many ones that you're like, if you're into that rap music, take a look at Christian rap music. If you are one that likes that while you're working out or just likes to listen to rap music, Christian rap music is out there. There's some amazing ones that you would not expect to be so good, but they are. And they're Christian based, so it makes it that much more better. You'd be surprised how good some of this stuff is. But there's definitely some different playlists out there that you can listen to, or just find what you're into. It kind of all depends on what you're into. If you love worship music all the time, I envy you, because I definitely fall into that place where I don't like listening to the worship music all the time. It's good when I do, but sometimes I'm like, I need a break from that, you know? So trying to find other things. And if you guys have Spotify playlists, please send them to me. I'd love to hear them. What am I looking for now? Oh, I'm looking for Ashley Hetherington's playlist. She made a Holy Girl playlist, Holy Girl Summer playlist, that I've been listening to, that's kind of sort of alternative Christian music, and I've been really enjoying that playlist too. Oh yeah, That Girl Christian Edition, that's what it's called. And then she has other ones. No, that's just one that has her face on it. Oh, I don't think I can find... Oh, no, A Holy Girl Summer, that's what it's called. It's by Ashley Hetherington, and she has a lot of good playlists too, and they're all like Christ-centered, which is amazing. Oh no, my computer fans are on. Hopefully it's not too loud yet. But there's so many good songs that are alternative that aren't worship music, or does not, because I think Caleb is a international thing, right? Because I definitely have heard people talk about K-Love a lot. But that's not especially K-Love. That's something different, something spicier. Give it a little spice, you know? TikTok sounds just running rampant in my brain, but just something different to listen to is sometimes really good. The final thing about like filling your mind with Christian stuff, also take a look at podcasts. There's so many good podcasts. Let me just read you a few. I know I've talked about Holy Girl Hotline some. I really enjoy that podcast. They just came out with a new episode. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And then there's also That's Joy, the podcast by Cece Calbanero, and that one I enjoy. I haven't listened to a lot of them, but I need to listen to more. There's the Christian Girls Tea podcast, which I've just been binging on my nights off. I meant not my nights off, my nights at my cleaning job. And then there's some other ones that I really want to check out that I am really excited for. So maybe check out those if you're finished with my podcast. I know there's only 4 episodes, so there's not a lot, but definitely go check out those if you need more encouragement. And there's a lot of podcasts out there as well that, I haven't discovered or I haven't listened to. And yeah, so filling your ears and your mind with Christian stuff is also really good. Yeah, I know there's a lot of good Christian books out there that you can read, good Christian alternative music that you can listen to, and just good ways to be filling your mind with good Christian things. Yeah. So, you know what I just realized? I forgot to say something. So, I was just gonna talk about how if you guys 100% always DM me, but also, I just remembered that I forgot to say in the consistency part, I even had it written down. If you need a consistency partner, an accountability partner, DM me. If you don't have one, DM me. I will become that. For you. So make sure if you have any questions or if you want a consistency partner, 100% DM me. I will be your consistency partner because I know what it's like to be like, I don't know who to ask to be my consistency partner. Sometimes it's hard finding somebody who will help keep you consistent. And I don't promise I will be there. I'll be 100% perfect all the time, but I will definitely try to be that person for you because I want you guys to be able to take what I've said in my episodes and really apply it. And if that means that I get the privilege of being your consistency partner, 100% I'm going to be your consistency partner. So if you guys want me to be your consistency partner, DM me. You guys, I can't emphasize enough about how much I love reading DMs. And then also, if I don't reply to you, just know that you're sitting in my requests, and I did not see your message until then, because I turned off notifications on Instagram quite a while ago. I don't remember why. I think it was just because it got to too much. I would get too many notifications, so I just turned it off on my phone altogether. But I will definitely try and be checking my DMs more often because I've seen ones that I've missed, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry I did not reply sooner. But I love your guys' DMs. You guys are always so sweet and so kind and so encouraging, and I'm just so thankful that God has given me this outlet and God has led you guys to me, made you guys click on this episode, or that I'm just giving it all to God, you guys. I wrote in my prayer journal just the other day, God, thank you for the girls who have reached out, and thank you for just really using this podcast, and then also asking him to use this podcast to reach those who need it, and I'm just giving God all the glory here, you guys. I'm just so glad that you guys are a part of this, and you guys can be my community, and you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. As always, next time, I will be here next Tuesday, for an episode on rest. 100% reach out to me. I always want new friends. And 100%. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I know I talked about it a lot today, but at thechristiangirl.podcast. And I will see all of you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening and helping my big goal come true. Love all of you. Bye. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for listening to the end. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at thatchristiangirl.podcast. I'll see you in the next one.